Well, she does not like the cold, I'll tell you that much. So can't get it started this morning, so I'm going to have to put a little bit more juice in that battery, and then we'll have another go in a bit. But just wanted to let you know that we do have an MOT, amazingly. I say amazingly, I was fairly confident, and we did get a few advisories. One of those was for the upper control arm bushes on both sides, so that is possibly something we're going to have to address. It does say they're not excessively warm, but it's just an advisory, so I think if we're not, I don't know, we'll kind of come back to that. So obviously we're going to be doing some work on the suspension, so maybe it's a perfect opportunity to get in there and start messing about with all those. But it's a big job, but it might need doing. Other than that, we had one little advisory on a corroded rear brake pipe covered in grease or other material. I've had a look and that actually is okay. I think the only other thing we had was also corrosion on the underneath of the vehicle, but not excessively at danger of compromising the structure integrity of the vehicle. So that's pretty good. No comments on things like tyres or emissions. Really, really pleased. So we've got the steering working to a point where we can drive it around. We're now going to put some miles on the vehicle and just see what it throws up. We do know, as I said before, we've got a problem with our suspension. There's a couple of little things I've noticed. And one little thing as well is I'm getting a little bit of movement, which I think might be the prop. So that is possibly something we're going to have to address as well. They're fairly inexpensive, and I'm hoping it's not going to be a big job. So let's crack on and get some of these jobs done. This is our aftermarket prop, so it's really good value, I think, at 280 quid, I think it is, plus tax. But and it comes with all the fixings you need. This has been improved massively from the previous ones that I've seen on the market, so I'm hoping this is going to be well worth fitting, and it's going to require a lot of tools. So we're going to crack into the Sealy toolkit today to try and get this job done. We've also got the impact gun. I have got a smaller set of impact guns as well, but we'll use the Sealy one, I think, on this, see how we get on. So we're underneath the disco now, and you can see this is our prop here. This is the front, and we've got all new bolts to fit, very important, and we've got the sealing washers there. Then you've got the prop runs along to the back. Now they could be a bit of a problem because they look fairly well like they've been on there a while, but this is what we've got to look at here. You can see just how much movement we've got, so that's not great at all, so that's completely shot. But also I did see we've got some movement in and out as well, so we're going to be doing the whole job. Now obviously spinning the prop would be a lot easier to reach them all, but I'm on my own, so nobody to assist. But you can get them. Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. So getting the prop back on was pretty easy. Obviously, put the front in first because it has to locate in a little bit. Then I just slid the back on and put a couple of fixing bolts in there temporarily just to hold it in place. Then I mounted the donut in the middle onto the chassis, and then we had to rotate this slightly to make sure it did line up with all the bolts. We did that. Didn't forget to put these new Moon washers in there, and yeah, it was all good. So I'm hoping now this is going to be balanced well, and it's not going to be sliding backwards and forwards like it did before shunting, but we'll see if that makes a difference. Now the back bolts, getting these bolts off the originals was really hard work, and basically that is because they're thread locked. So the trick, which I hope I filmed, was heating them up to sort of basically melt the thread lock, and then they came off easily. But without doing that, you're really going to, well, I don't even think you'd manage it, so you're going to have to get yourself some heat on there to melt the thread lock, and then you're good to go.
So let's try it out.
The other thing that obviously we need to do now, it's MOT'd, we know we can take all the interior out and try and dry that off. The vehicle needs to be dried out. It's still smelling really, really bad. There's loads of water in the footwell. I will show you what we do. Basically, what I'm going to try and do is take all the seats out, apart from the 6th and 7th seat right in the back. That'll enable me to then get the carpet out. I'm a bit concerned about the centre console because the way these are put together in a factory is the carpet goes in first and they build the dash and the centre console over the top of it. So I might have to come up with a plan for that, but I'll show you as I go along what we're coming up with, and then once we've got it stripped down and everything out, I'll then have to put everything back in the vehicle. Right, we're halfway there, so there's a natural break in the carpet, so we've still got the front to remove, and it's looking pretty grim. Now the tricky bit we've got here is getting the carpet out from underneath the centre console. Now ideally we want to be taking that out. I'm not sure if I want to, so we might have to come up with a plan B for that. I'm going to have a little look now, see what we can do. Well folks, we are about 3 hours in, and we've got all the seats out, the centre console's out, and now we've got access to that carpet, so we're going to trim that out so the whole carpet will come out now. All of that work, getting that out, has been worth it, because this is what we're trying to deal with here. That we've got an enormous amount of water that we need to get out. So that's a good start. And we're going to make sure these wires are all good and get this water out. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and please do subscribe and click the notification bell, because I'm pretty sure you're going to want to know how we're going to get on with this vehicle. It's going to be quite an exciting journey, especially when we go on that trip. I do apologise for the tash. We're still raising money for Movember, so every morning I look at myself in the mirror, I just want to shave it off, but I'm doing it for prostate cancer, and I want to try and help people who have been diagnosed with prostate cancer like myself. So please do have a little look down below, and maybe if you can just spare a few quid, that'd be fantastic. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.